Okay, let's get stuck in to another webinar. But before we do, as always, just a quick wave, guys. We're only going to take a couple seconds because we only have a couple members. So Brittany Prince and Corey Mirabelli, welcome to this awesome community. Get yourselves along to these webinars. They're here, they're free, they're packed full of value. We always have a good amount of people here bouncing off each other. And again, like I've said the last couple of times, most of the guys that attend these webinars, they're within the top 5% in the industry. And the people that aren't are the people that are coming up behind them and will be part of that 5%. It's a great group of people. They are highly educated. We talk a lot of fire inside these webinars. So welcome, and I look forward to seeing you soon. All right, guys, for the people that are now here with us, today's topic, Alex, great to see you as well here. And I think, dude, you're going to be a massive contributor, I think, to this one today. The topic of conversation, again, is overcoming perfectionism, which I did say was procrastination before, but overcoming perfectionism and taking action. So before we get into that topic, we're just going to do a quick Q&A, all right? Tane had a question there for the people who are attending this recording. He asked before, so I'm going to get him to politely ask it again. What was your question, brother? Because I think this is a great one that a lot of people will probably be able to relate to, and we'll then answer it.
Yeah, so I'm going on holiday for 2 weeks as of next week and the following week. And I'm just trying to reschedule all my sessions. So I've got a trainer working for me and trying to reschedule a bulk of my sessions over to him. But then because of he's nearly booked up, so I can't overload him. So the best way to go about it, because we're finding the time to reschedule all those time slots, just isn't, it's just a head, it's doing my head in at the moment. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Anybody got any advice of being in a situation like this and how you've handled it before? Michael's probably got something to shine on that one. Mike, have you?
Yeah. What I've done when I've had a very rare holiday is that I just put it out to everyone, whoever wants to do a group session. So they can all just book in at the same time. That way you don't have to stop their payments. You're doing catch-up sessions. You might do 4, 5, 10, however many sessions you've got to do a week. You can keep their payments rolling on while you're on the holiday, and they've already made up all their sessions.
That's actually, do you know what? You taught me something there, brother. I'm always happy to put my hand up and say when I've never heard of something or done it. That there is clever. So what you could do is you keep debits rolling, but then what you do when you come back, you add in, I'd say you could add in like 3 or 4 hour slots where every single person can attend to do makeup sessions, no matter how many they have. So even if they were doing 1 or 2 sessions a week, they can attend all 4, and they train in a group with the community that you coach. That would be a lot more time productive than booking in a lot of makeup sessions. That would work tremendously well, right? Is that pretty much what you were saying, Michael? Is that what you did?
Yeah, that's what I've done before. So I've just put it out to whoever wants to jump in and do a session. And most of my clients know each other anyway, so they're quite happy to do that.
Yeah.
And you might get 1 or 2 that go, no, I want to train on my own. So go, okay, and you make theirs up later on when you get back.
There you go.
Generally, they're pretty happy to do it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people would be happy. A lot of people would be happy to train in the group environment. If not, they'd be happy to train in the normal face-to-face environment. But the amount of people that are happy to train as a group, you'll find you'll be able to save an absolute ton of time with them. And that will probably clear a hectic schedule like yours is getting. It'll clear it out. I think that's probably the best thing. To elaborate, so that was actually really good. I think Sherry, welcome, Sherry. You just missed that. So I'm just going to repeat it because it could be useful for you because you're so busy. So Tane's going away on holiday, which is where you've just come back from. Hopefully you had a great time away in Bali. And basically, Tane was just saying about having to make up a lot of sessions where they can't really make them up because of having, when he comes back, walking back into his existingly busy schedule. We just said there, Michael trialed that and it worked, that he did group sessions. So if someone was on a bronze, a gold, or a silver, you could do 3 or 4 slots throughout the week when you get back to let every single person, even if they only missed 1 session, attend all 4 sessions, right? To do it in a group setting rather than having to make up one-on-ones with every single person. So I think the magic number would be 4, and then you give everyone access to all 4. So even if they're doing 3, they're still getting a bonus session. So do you know what I mean? So there is like an incentive for them to do the group sessions because they get more of them, plus they're longer than a half-hour session. So you could even just do 3 if you wanted, Tanya. You could do 3 hours, which would be the equivalent of 6 half-an-hour sessions. And yeah, I think that would be very, very worthwhile. I think it'd be pretty good. Does that make sense, Sherry, of how you can sort of catch up? So this, guys, I'd recommend as well, implement this face-to-face trainers over Christmas and New Year, right? Along with doing what we call the earn and burn principle. So this could be used instead of the earn and burn principle. So for people that are really, really busy, and I know here, like Claire, this will be value for you, Tan for you, Damien for you, definitely. The earn and burn principle, what we do is to keep your debits rolling through Christmas with your clients, right? Is they earn the session. So if they want, for example, 2 weeks off, right? And it's healthy if people want time off, just let them have the time. If they're doing 2 sessions a week with you, that means they're going to miss 4 sessions. You keep the debits rolling, but in the week leading up to it, they do 3, right? And then the week after, when they come back, they do 3. They've caught up 2 of those sessions, right? So you could do 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after. They do 3 sessions. That means they're earning the break that they can then consume more calories, because that's what people do at Christmas, they eat. And then that's the earn part of the principle. The burn part is when they come back, they do 3 sessions for 2 weeks to burn the calories off that they've consumed. Does that make sense? Like, Damon, does that make sense? Yeah. Dan, cool. So you could combine it with that. And even for people that are busy, really, really busy at Christmas and New Year's, again, this group format could really, really work. It could really work. Where you can do earn and burn, but in groups with like training in communities, and you could even do Christmas themed sessions in the build up and stuff like that. So there's a few little ideas floating around. Hopefully there's some value added. Thanks for that, Michael. You've taught me something today there, mate. And Tane, hopefully that helps.
Yeah, so I was just thinking about that. My only thought would be, because the session times are booked out from like 6 till 9, and I think it's like 3:30 until 7 p.m. at the moment. Most of those session times would be booked out. So to do a group class, it would need to be outside of the hours that I'm already doing those one-on-one PTs.
Yeah.
Which would be like times when a lot of those clients wouldn't be able to make it.
Exactly. And this is something you're going to run into, brother. So it's again, this is at the end of the day, it's a really positive dilemma to have, being so busy,
yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? That's what it is. It's a positive dilemma, but again, it's one of these things. Like, this is another thing where, like, side note, but very valid. A lot of people, they find that they get really, really snowed down with their PT schedules because, and I think Suzanne and Kelly, who have just jumped on, I think they might be accustomed to doing this. They allow people to choose where they want to train, right? People are always going to give you guys their ideal slot, right? That doesn't mean it's the only slot they can do, right? I guarantee it. You need to be in control of where they go. So, like, with you, if you know, for example, people that are flexible in the morning slots, where you think that this group makeup session for a week at, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6:30 p.m. may be best suited. If you think that there's a client who's training in them slots that can be flexible, just ask them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's nothing stopping you from asking these guys to move around to accommodate your other guys who are part of your community. Like, I guarantee for today, if I said to Morgan, for example, like, take one for the team, can you do something else at this time? Or Seb, can we do that at this time? Or Jack, whatever, right? I guarantee that you guys will come to the table because of the community that we've got, right? So again, it's a positive dilemma to have, but there's a few ways to handle it, either with the group sessions, the earn and burn principle or whatever, and especially around Christmas and New Year's, it will work well. But yes, putting in the group session to make up might be tricky.
Does your other trainer have sessions on at the same time that you do?
Yeah, yeah.
Why not just get the client that you're training to train with the other client that your trainer's already training?
Oh, like I'll be taking sessions and he'll have clients of his own training at the, like, well, our clients, but training at the same time.
Yeah, put them
Yeah,
all
like
together.
Yeah, put them together.
I'll put them together. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Nice
And then
together.
that free
You go on
that's
holiday, your
it.
trainer looks after them all.
Or,
Yeah, that's
or you
onto
both
it.
come together. You both come together and do it, and you just open that slot to everyone else. Do you know what I mean? So if
Yeah,
you're both fully booked at one time, just communicate to those people that you're booked with for that hour, right? So both of you, 2 trainers, 2 clients for 1 hour, communicate, right? We're going to open this slot up to everybody. And then I'm going to also open up 3 other slots that you can then attend as a group, and do it like that. Just open them up, combine it and open them up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's
sweet.
lots of ways you can do it, but I think what's really crucial here is that it will come down to the community that you have. That's very, very crucial. A lot of people fail with doing a semi-private model. So to go off on a bit of a side note here, but it's really relevant. I don't think I've ever talked about this before either. A lot of people fail when they launch semi-private. And the reason why is because a lot of people don't want to train with other people. It's not that they don't want to train with other people. It's that they don't know the people that they're training with. So that in the back of their head, they'll think, well, I know, like, and trust my trainer, but I don't know, like, and trust the other people that I might be training with. What happens if I don't like this person? What happens if I don't get along with them? I can guarantee you right now that if I said, you know, Charmaine, like, you know, couple up with Emily or something like that, like, well, I picked the perfect pair. Those guys know each other very well, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys here, because of the community that we create through these sessions, you're happy to train with each other. You're happy to bounce off each other the way that you guys support each other on your socials, right? Do you know what I'm saying? So this is where, Tane, ironically, brother, we spoke this morning on Voxer about your VIP group, right?
Yeah.
This is why you've got to always have community at the forefront of your mind. Community increases retention. I don't do this for retention, but the fact is that you guys all now like each other's stuff. A lot of you message each other. Heck, some of you even fucking train with each other. You know what I mean? You train, you pay each other money and you train with each other. So for me, it's just all community, and you will find group stuff will work based on community that is existing with how you handle your VIP group. And that's what these VIP groups are. If these VIP groups aren't handled with a real sense of strong community, they are pointless. Because otherwise, you just need a Facebook profile. And a lot of people sometimes will say, "Well, what's the point in a Facebook group when I can do everything using my profile?" Correct, you can, but you can't build community on a personal profile. Yeah, you might get like with me, when I get like a lot of people that will, like, you know, say, "Oh, congrats," or "Great work, guys, great work, team." Like, you know, Tane, you might say that, you know. A lot of people might recognize that you're doing that all the time. That's great, but it's still not community. It shows that you're consistently supporting, but it's not a community. So yeah. On that one, again, guys, because I think this has got off to a really good start. Does anyone else feel, and this could be as well down now to how I'm going to tie it to this perfection, right? And not needing to perfect, why a lot of people don't utilize their groups. I don't see a lot of posting. If I'm involved in your groups, I'm going to be getting notifications. Does anyone else have any sort of procrastination or lack of utilization of their Facebook groups? I know you all do. So someone talk to me about it. What do you struggle with it? Is it to do with perfection? Are you searching for perfection? Like, what is it?
I'd say for me, it's content, just feeding the right type of content. So I focus on 4 pillars: emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual.
Yeah,
I think I said 4 different ones, but
right. No, you did.
Yeah, so I try and focus on those 4 pillars and try and drip feed that community. You know, like I try and ask questions like, have you ever I think one of my questions, and it's a little bit taboo for some people, but have you ever had a profound spiritual experience? And there were a few people that came through with their knowledge about it. One of them happened to be my boxing coach for like 8 years. He came through. He never talked about spirituality, you know, and he's in my group and he's sharing all this. In my head, I'm like, don't you think this would have helped me when we were bloody boxing? But no, it's just getting those questions out there that actually engage them into talking to each other. So sometimes I just leave the messages for them to communicate with each other, and I think it's just more content really. Like today, I'm a little bit lost, so it's like, what do I post? So it's
Okay. All right. So let's make a note of this, right? So what do we post? And we're going to answer all these once I've got some more from other people. Charmaine, were you going to say something there, or like someone was going to say something about why they struggle with their Facebook group? Ems?
I find I struggle a lot just with content. I mean, I've got my personal group, my Instagram, and my VIP page as well. I struggle on all three to have anything posted. And then obviously I've got, you know, a bit of a funny case going on at the moment as well. So it makes it a bit hard whether, you know, what to post. The VIP group is obviously only members that I add in there, but still I struggle to know what to put in and having enough content to put in. It's not so much the perfectionist of it, it's just the
creation.
Just knowing what to put in.
Yeah, I think this is really good. I think, and I don't know whether we're getting to a bit of the deep-rooted cause of like why this is voted for on the poll, but like perfection. I think social media content and perfecting it causes procrastination around that, like 100%. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to actually look and I'm going to see who voted, and I'm going to pick you out. Whoever voted for this shit today, it's not shit, by the way. That's not very nice. But whoever voted for this shit, I'm going to pick you out, and you're going to come next, and you're going to tell me why. So, anyone
say
else?
something, Simon?
Go on, sorry.
I was just going to say, can I quickly add something in there? The other thing that I struggle with as well is people that are in my VIP page are obviously on my personal page as well. You know, and some stuff I try to or have in the past tried to share. Or not share, but, you know, post very similar things, and people, you know, I find might get annoyed with seeing the same sort of things twice, or things like that. So I don't know if that's sort of a thing for anyone else as well, but I struggled with that a lot as well when I was posting a lot.
So, what was that? Sorry, again, I lost. Sharing twice? Did you say posting twice? Were you saying?
Yeah, just with my personal page and my VIP page, like I was posting similar sort of things. And because I've got the same people on both sides, obviously from my personal page, I've added them into the VIP. I sort of felt like it might have annoyed people to sort of see the same similar stuff twice. So I didn't know whether I should delete them from my personal page because I've got them in the VIP, or, you know, just struggling to have different things to post on different platforms on a regular basis.
Yeah. And Charmaine, sorry to butt in.
Yeah, I feel the same as and mine's like time management, obviously trying to do both, like Instagram, your Facebook is pretty similar. And then your personal, your VIP group, I feel like it's probably more information and trying to engage people, whereas your Facebook and your Instagram is more like your social proof, all that sort of stuff, a little bit of education. So just kind of knowing what to post, trying to be creative as well, what to post. And I've actually created like a little Facebook private group for my actual clients, and I'm trying to build a sense of community that way. It's actually really working. So people have actually posted in that group saying, oh, I'm thinking about going to yoga or going to like RPM class. Does anyone want to come? And that actually made me feel really happy, because I'm like, this is nice. Like they're actually bringing themselves together and creating a sense of community.
That is dope, because do you know what? I don't recommend having them chats because they're fucking annoying. I'm just going to be honest. Like, I had complaints when I set a chat up like that. And do you know what the worst thing is as well? It's like, I'm not saying that these things are wrong. It was because I didn't build a very good community as a PT back then, right? When someone goes, Simon Finch has removed himself from the chat, right? It's like they don't want to be a part of the chat, right? Which means they don't want to be a part of the community, right? Basically. So if you can integrate a chat early, it can be advantageous. Again, if you're helping clients within a certain niche, it can be really advantageous. But as soon as you have 1 or 2 or 3 people that you coach outside of that niche, and the majority of the people in that chat are speaking about the big niche, then the other people are going to remove themselves. So those chats, they can be great. They're like the best form of community, but they can also be they can not toxic, but they can be high risk. Do you know what I mean?
What I also do is, like, after check-ins, I kind of make note of what people are struggling with, what they need help with the most. And then I kind of put some information in those little groups as well. The friendly punishments. So people that haven't checked in, all that sort of stuff, I kind of create a list of people and say, hey guys, your friendly punishment for this week is this. So it's kind of creating a sense of community, but also making it a little bit fun. Do you know what I mean? They're kind of doing it together. And then I've also done, I think it's every 6 to 8 weeks, I'm going to run like little community things like boot camps, going away, doing some things together, going out for lunch, all that sort of stuff too.
Yeah, look, this is all part and parcel of like the difference of content and stuff that you need to be communicating within a community, i.e. a group, opposed to your personal profile. Do you know what I mean? Personal profile, like I've said a million times, it just needs to be fire. Like, so it needs to be strong. Talking to someone about this morning, I can't remember who it was. It needs to be strong, and it needs to be proof that you're good at what you do. That's it, right? I mean, you can post photos and videos of you training, but it's not as good as you with your arm around your client. Like yours, Charmaine, stands out massively. Like you can tell, like that image, it says 1,000 or a million words, right? You can, the smile and the vibe and the banter that's being had in that image, you can't put that in words. You can't. So rather than having a photo of you doing a squat or something like this, which again, I hate to say it, but there's like videos of you doing exercises, right? They're not the best. It's not the best content at all. If anyone wants to learn how to do that, they're going to go to YouTube. That's what they're going to do, right? It's cool. It shows you know what you're doing, but I'm telling you, something so simple as come here, homie, and fucking bang, take a selfie and put that up and say, I'm super proud of Suzanne Rodriguez, who's smashed her squats. She's added XYZ to her bench and she's dropped 3% body fat in the last 10 weeks. Can't wait for the next 10. The difference is monumental. Like it's monumental. And I think that this is obviously, again, what people try to perfect. They try to perfect before posting, which creates procrastination around posting, right? That's what I'm sensing anyway. So I think no, it wasn't Alex. It was Anthony. Anth, you voted for perfection. Why did you vote for perfection? Is it related to socials? What's it related to, bro? I always love your views.
I voted for perfection.
Yeah, on the poll, you voted for today's seminar to be overcoming perfectionism and taking action. What was your vote based on? Why did you want that?
Okay, that's just me personally. That's like you said, it's the procrastination of posting material, thinking about things for too long, trying to perfect things. So you're overthinking it far too much before. So it's just in my head too much. Perfect.
No, that's good. Hang on a sec. Let me go. And it wasn't you. I apologize. I put you on the spot and it wasn't even you. It was
very similar.
It's similar. It's very similar. Sherry, it was you who I was going to target. What are you trying to perfect? What are you trying to perfect? And is it in relation to social media? There is a very distinctive link so far between social media and perfection. But yeah.
I think, as I see, like my worst quality is my overthinking. Like I can work and work and work. Like it's not the work ethic that I find hard. It's that I overthink things, which means it's more work for myself. And I think that comes into play with social media as well, where I don't post as much as what I should be because I think, is this the right thing to post, or is this going to entice the sort of people that I want to train or who I want to work with. So I think that's where the perfectionism side of things comes in. I think in terms of my Facebook like VIP group, I think even just listening to the others, it's made me think, okay, it needs to be more conversational in the group to bring the community. So more like questions that are more open-ended rather than transformations or social proof. So I think it's sort of, I don't know, even just from the conversation so far, it's made me think a bit more of having it be more conversational in the group versus social proof and content for the other pages, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. And again, relates perfectly to social media. I think you're trying to perfect it. There's no such thing as what's right and wrong to post. There are some things that will perform better and worse than others, right? But in a community, right, you should feel free to be able to post whatever you want, because that community you're trusted within, right? So that's what I would say. Like I wouldn't try and perfect anything. If something doesn't work, we learn from it and we don't do it again, right? And that I think on the broader scheme, taking away social media, guys, is something, and it's advice I would give to everybody. Like trying to overcome perfectionism and taking action. There's no such thing as being perfect. No one is. So don't try and search for it. Take action and learn if you feel that you need to learn to find out whether something was worth or not worth doing, then do it. But if you have an outlet like this, for example, or another community or a consultant, coach, mentor that you can run things by, use them to get their opinions. This is why, again, you guys here today, ask questions, you know what I mean? Ask questions and see if anyone else has done anything that you're thinking of doing before you do it. And then therefore you will not have to trial and then error and then correct those errors to make them better. If that makes sense. So yeah, no, that's good. Anyone else, like, do you find that you're trying to perfect anything? I think a lot of the time, like there's probably half a dozen clients that are not on here, that are trying to be perfect, that hold them back from getting off the starting blocks, like legit, like, I mean, off the starting blocks. Stage one, go into stage one in the portal because of limiting beliefs they have mentally, that they're trying to be so perfect that people that get past stage one, which is most people, are just not thinking about, you're not thinking about being a perfectionist when you're a novice, right? If you're not educated to the highest of the ability, right? If you're not the Elon Musk of your trade, then don't think that you should be able to put out content or do things that Elon Musk would be able to do. You can't, right? But don't make it have a result of you not taking any action at all. That's the most important thing that I want to get across today. Like, you know, that you can be imperfect, but make sure that that imperfection doesn't lead to you not taking action. Yeah.
I think I used to have a lot of perfection around what it looks like as well, like how I'm presenting it, the word usage, all that sort of stuff. Now I've kind of taken away that pressure and go, just take the photos. If I don't look great, whatever, I'm still with my client, and just put over whatever you like words that I can think about at that time and just post it.
Exactly. People you'll find, again, we talk social media here, but people respect people for being real and not fake. Yeah. Like, there's no filters, no facades. Like, you don't need any of that. You really don't. I'm in probably the most egotistical place in Australia right now, right? I'm walking down the beach this morning, and it's like, you can tell that the people that take their shirts off and are like golden and they're fucking chiseled and shit like this, they're happy to be like that, right? And obviously they work hard to, but you can tell that the people that aren't want to be walking down, getting the sun on their body and on their skin, but they don't want to because they compare themselves to what perfection looks like, right? You know what I'm saying? that's what it is like here in the Gold Coast. The Gold Coast is like that. I don't care what anyone says. I personally believe there's a lot of ego here, like, and that's what it is. But I think anywhere in life, anywhere in business, personal life, anything like that, that's just an example. Don't ever compare yourself to being perfect. No one's ever going to be perfect. There's a lot of things that, you know, even the best people out there in the world will still say, like, I'm still learning. You're never going to master your craft, ever, ever. But you always learn, and the best way to learn is to fucking fail, to be honest with you. Mess up, fail, and then perfect it. You know, and then you will perfect that one thing, and then you have to go and fail at another thing. That's called progression. That's how you progress onto other things. And like I said before about those guys, and sometimes, I mean, I can do everything, like I always say, the analogy of like, I can freaking buy you the car, put you in the driver's seat, turn it on, put the sat nav in, the directions, there's where you got to go. If you don't put your foot down, you're not going to move. And not seeing people get out of the starting blocks, it's because of perfectionism. It's so frustrating. Do you know what I mean? Related to your clients, guys. Yeah, if you're ever going through something that's tough for yourself, relate it to it. What happened if your clients, and I know there's a lot of you guys, anyone here who's ever had a client that signed up and then quit before they started? A lot of you guys would have had that, right? That's called failing to get out of the starting blocks right there. Put yourself in their shoes, right? Why, what, like, how could it feel to be that scared or that sort of, I don't know, scared of being perfect? Right? They're not already 50 pounds lighter. Do you know what I mean? And they're scared to therefore start. Put yourself in those shoes and think, hell no, that's not what I want to do. So, you know what I mean? You got to then motivate those people to actually make a start. But for you, just think, I can't do that. I have to obviously put the work in, see the first 5 pounds, then the first 10, then the first 15. You'll get to the 50, you know? Don't ever try and be too perfect that you don't start and move. It's that simple.
I've also found that like following less trainers and less other PTs on social media is also good too, because then like whether consciously or subconsciously, you'll start comparing like what you post, the content that you post to others. And then sometimes you can also start to try and be someone that you're not.
Yeah.
You know, and I've found like mentally following less trainers or being super selective on who you do follow and what content you do consume is a lot better for our own business and that sort of thing too.
That's a really good one, brother. Really good one. And also as well, like, just being straight up, nobody here ever compare yourself to anybody else in this room of people other than yourself. Never do that. It's the worst. It's the worst thing you could ever do. Like, I never compare myself to anybody else. I'm my own competition, and therefore I believe I'm always the best because I'm just bettering myself. And, you know, people can take it as what they want, but I am the best because who I'm trying to beat is me. Do you know what I mean? Even though I do believe I'm better than everyone else. But anyway, you have to think like that. You have to. If you're not thinking like that, then you ain't going to be the best, right? But that's a really good one, Tane. Like, again, like just trying to be people you're not. Everyone's different, and everyone gets respected for their own individualities, right? And their own individual traits, their own content, their own things. Like, and that's what will gravitate people towards you. Otherwise, it's like, oh, well, Simon is just trying to be like Andrew Tate, who just speaks his mind, right? Like, do you know what I mean? It's not like that. I'm just being who I am. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to do my own thing. So yeah, never compare yourself to other trainers, or the content you post should not have to be copying anyone else's. Just share what you're doing. It's very, very hard. There is no such thing as perfection. That's simple.
I think also like accepting that, like, if you be authentically yourself, you'll put people off, but the people that you'll draw to you as well will be more invested in you. They'll like you more. You'll develop more connection with them than like if you're trying to appease everyone. You'll not be authentically yourself 100%, and you won't create as deeper connections with the people who do connect with you too.
That's right. Could you imagine this, right? You try and be someone who you're not. And over years and years and years of trying so hard to be someone that you're not and perfecting yourself, you eventually get all these people, right? Whether they're clients, they're friends, They're not relationships because you're only meant to have one of them. But you know what I mean, right? You get all these people gravitate towards you. And then you start actually becoming yourself, and all those people disperse because they see that what you were either doing before was a facade, or they don't like the real you, right? That right there is a deeper way for why you should never try to perfect anything. And you should always just believe in yourself and be yourself in your business, with your posting of your content, and in your social life and your relationship as well. That's it. There is nothing else to it. Simple, like it's very simple. Damien, what do you got, brother?
So I think with me, like I definitely have the same problem where I will post into my group and I'll put some content there, and then I just go MIA for a little bit.
Yes.
And I think reflecting on that, I think a lot of it as well has to do with my own ego, right? Because I'm putting content out, and sometimes in a group situation, we don't get that validation straight away. We don't, maybe people aren't connecting or like commenting on it or putting in as many likes. So I guess the question there for myself is like, am I doing it to be seen as good, or am I doing it from a place of service? And I think that's my own ego, because yeah, we try perfect because we want the content to be good so people like it, like us, validation. But if we remove all that and just do it from a place of service, remove the ego, then we're not going to worry about perfecting. We're not going to worry about how good it is. We're just going to be like, I just want to add value, value, value. And that will probably then be more consistent, right? So I think that's, you know, a big thing with, I probably see it in my Instagram and Facebook and all these places. It's like, for me, sometimes, yeah, it's the trying to do a lot to be seen as good. And if I can't be great, then I'm not going to do it at all because I want to be seen as good. So yeah, I think, you know, that's my experience. I think definitely it's the ego, as much as we like to think we don't have it, we have it a little bit. And I think coming from a place of service will probably remove that obstacle a bit.
Very, very, very well said, bro. I like, it's perfectly put, man. Perfectly put. I think that whole, again, because we have a few newer faces here, like I always say about this, this hidden and invisible audience on Facebook. Like there is, I don't care what anyone says, like I do have a slight bit of it, but at the end of the day, like it's tiny, right? But I think it's that influential in society these days that every single person will have a little bit of give a fuck about how many fucking likes and interactions you get on a post. They will have that. And again, you could call that perfection, which sometimes causes lack of action taking of putting out the post because you want it to be perfect so that it gets interactions, right? But what you need to be driven by, like Damien put so perfectly, is making an impression and adding value. Do you know what I mean? And I'm telling you, like over time, watch it change. Just watch you again, like I said, don't try and be someone who you're not. Eventually getting all these people, and then you think, oh, I've got everyone now, I can be myself. Well, they'll just disperse, right? Be yourself from the off, give value from the off, and don't ever care about these likes and interactions. There is this thing called the hidden audience. There is a lot more people seeing your content, right, than who engage with it. And they are the most important. If you want to talk about impact, and if you're running a business and you want to grow your business, like they're the ones that you actually want. They're the ones that you actually want to see seeing your content. Whether they actually engage or not is another thing. So don't let that social pressure of society's like likes is everything. And oh my God, like that guy got like 500 likes, or my name's Alex and I got 850 on a before and after photo. He's gone. That was there. Oh no, he's there. But like, you know, that was amazing. But you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Just do it to inspire, right? And inspiration should be the main driving factor with everything. And again, just take action with it. If you've got any ideas, guys, feel free to post in the community that we've got. Feel free, guys, to post in that community, right? The business educational community for personal trainers is not there for me to announce seminars uploaded. There's what we're doing this week. Here's a poll, and then obviously we all interact, and then, you know, upload complete, whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's there to educate other people. I mean, the way that I post content is to record these seminars and to, you know, welcome people personally, and then obviously give people access to them because it's education through seminar delivery. but it's also a community where you can ask questions. There's a lot of clients that are trying to build up comfort levels to be able to post. If you're trying to build up a comfort level to be able to post where you think it's then perfect enough to post it, send it to me. Send it to anybody first. Hey, Ems, can you have a look at Charmaine's post before she posts it? Do you know, like you two, like they bounce off each other, and you know, Tane and Alex, like bounce off each other as well. But again, I'm here for you, for everyone. Just bounce off each other, because there's nothing worse than all of the hard work that we put into in social media and perfecting it to then lead to not taking any action at all. Like you have to take action. If not, when you need that profile for added exposure and marketing, you're going to be a long way behind. You're going to be a long way behind. So yeah, that's it. I think for me to keep going would be to be repeating myself. Is there anything else that anyone wants to talk about here at all? Alex, you got something, brother?
Yeah. So I guess away from business, or it's actually on business, I'm doing a Bob Proctor Thinking into Results course, and I'm on lesson 2, which is like the knowing and doing gap. So you're never going to know everything, right? And I guess it's repetitive again, that it's just take action. Like take action, you're going to learn all the things to do and the things not to do, and what hits and what doesn't hit, especially on social media, right? It can be, if you let it be, it can be very toxic, but it can also be, I guess, a critique in your own life, that what you're posting, maybe reflect on it, like my sales calls, you know, like sending those through and getting critiques and then watching yours. That's actually improving my life and how I go about, you know, there was a interaction that I had with an Indian guy in the sauna, and I know that my previous self would have just bang, because it was real racist what he said. Like, oh, are you going to get those tattoos on your face? You're not. Surely you're not. You know. And my mind was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to knock this dude up. But it was like, oh. And then I just started educating them. So it was a bit of ignorance, but without this critique online and these sales calls that I've been learning, I feel like I would have reacted rather than just taking that approach. So I think it can help you in your mannerism. Yeah. I'd just say take action. Like all my posts have been trash lately, you know, I'm just posting them. I don't care. Like yeah. I literally don't care. I'm just like, post them out, get it out there, because the messages are going to go through to who you want to attract. And I think, yeah, just be what Tane said, you know, unapologetically authentic. When he said that to me, I was like, bro, that's exactly who I am. Like, that's who I am. I don't give a shit. Like, that's who I am. And I guess my tone can come up. You know, there's little critiques that I can do when I'm talking. Instead of being like low vibration voice, I'm always saying, no, I got a low vibe voice. I'm quite deep, but bringing that up and being more joyful. I think that's what I'm going to do today. You know, I'm going to go out into the sunshine and I'm going to have like really try and have popping content, you know, in the bush, t-shirt off. Hey, you know, I'm going to try and be a little bit more poppy and see how that goes. So it's about critique as you go. So just action. Yeah. I think it's repetitive, but action, man.
Yeah.
Action.
I love that. I love that. Something you said, bro, like if you try to perfect something, is it frustrating or is it rewarding? It's frustrating, right? It's frustrating because you're not taking action. You're trying to polish something. You're trying to perfect it, right? It's frustrating because you don't then take the action. If you're frustrated in many more ways than one, you will see frustrating things happen rather than just frustrated because I'm not posting content. You do not want to be a frustrated person in life. Like, trust me, you just don't. There's nothing positive comes from that shit. That's why I'm always bubbly. I'm always trying to make people laugh at my stupid jokes. But it's fucking true, right? Like Alex just said there, if it's frustrating and then you think to yourself, you know, like you could have, you know, your old self would have reacted a certain way. Well, you know, let me leave you with this thought. Like, if you don't take action, you're going to continuously be frustrated with yourself. And it's yourself that you're frustrated with, nobody else. Don't be frustrated. Don't be worried. And a lot of people actually that do take action when they are worried, are often very pleasantly surprised with the likes, the attention, and the following and interactions that they actually get from the piece of content, if we're talking socials again, that they post. So take the action. It will not make you frustrated, which you do not want to take frustration in with you to any element of your life, because you'll just keep attracting more of it. And you will come out pleasantly being more surprised than what you thought you were going to be most of the time. So that was awesome, Alex, I think, to finish on there. Again, anyone else got anything at all they want to say?
Simon, can you hear me?
My man, Ryan, what's happening?
Simon. Yeah, so if I haven't introduced myself, everybody, I'm Ryan. I'm from the US.
What's up, Ryan?
So I just want to say what's up with you guys. But I want to touch on Damien's his kind of insight, right? When he talks about his posting and ego, right? And kind of having that delayed gratification. Do you think, and this goes for everyone in the group, see if they feel the same way. Are you comparing your posts and what you put out there with your peers or with your clients or your potential clients, right? Meaning, are we giving a shit what the people we follow or the people who are in the industry, what they feel and what they think about our posts? Or if they see it, they're going to kind of write some bullshit like negative comment? Or are you worried about what your clients and potential clients might have to say about what you put?
That's good.
Right. Because for me, I procrastinated because I would compare myself with people I followed. So I fucking just unfollowed everybody. And it has made a massive change and shift in my mindset and putting stuff out there. If that makes sense.
That does. That's good. Damien, you got any feedback for that? Is it more the clients and your people you're trying to attract that you're worried about trying to impress and perfect, or other people that are in your shoes, other professionals that you're trying to compare to? That's a good question, right? Thanks.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a great question. I think I experienced that a little while ago, because there was something said to me. It's like, you're not, those people know, so you're not producing content for them. You're trying to produce content for the people who don't know. So you're not trying to produce your content for other professionals. You're trying to do it for people you're trying to help. But I think as trainers, we definitely do that. We have our idols, we have our peers, and we compare to them. But it's like we're not producing content for them. So totally agree on that point. I think like all of us, right, to maybe some degree, there's a bit of a fear that we're not good enough, maybe. And I think it's that judgment that, if my content's not great, or if I'm not giving value, or then maybe that's our own ego of not wanting to be seen as not professional, not an authority, I guess. But I think it's like, just relaxing a bit and just going, wait, I do have value. I do have something positive to say. And something I've learned is, sometimes, done is better than perfect. And you are right, Simon. I think you are pleasantly surprised at the value you give, and the feedback you get, and how you do actually help people's lives. But I think I definitely know everyone who is in this group to some degree is a high performer, right? They wouldn't be here. We're all trying to be better. So I think we all have that internal criticism of wanting to be really good and wanting to be the best, or providing the best service. We probably all do it from such a good place. But it's like, for anyone who does like Olympic lifting, there's like that saying, analysis paralysis, where you overthink it so much that it just leaves you stuck and you can't move properly. So I think we might do that with our own business. And I think there's multiple things at any one given time that sort of leads us a bit stuck. And it's just trying to find that perfect interplay to keep us moving forward in the best way possible.
It's very, very well said. There's been some really, really good conversation today, guys, I think. And I think the way in which I'm going to leave this conversation, say my piece, is that to hang around other people like you guys are doing by attending these, it is going to bring out confidence within you to not be perfect, to realize that nobody is, and to keep fucking doing your best, right? Keep bettering yourself. But having, you know, Damien's here, having Ryan's here, having Tanya's here, having Anthony's here, you are all in one way or another doing this to each other, right? And the only way you're going is up. You're not bringing each other fucking down. That's what we're not about around here. You're only bringing each other up. So with that being said, keep coming, keep bouncing off each other. And if you're thinking about doing something, whatever it may be, and it doesn't have to be a Facebook post, just do it. It's as simple as that. All right. That's a good note to leave on. I love you all. I need to get some fucking work done, so leave me alone. I'll speak to you all soon. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.